You are now listening to the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Hey, this is Jason Kleberg from the Force 5 Podcast, a show that forces a guest to come up with a movie-themed top 5 list topic, and then we reveal our picks on air. Top 5 heist films, top 5 tearjerkers, top 5 movie dogs. Every show you'll be asking yourself, what would be on my list? Guests include directors, screenwriters, actors, podcasters, musicians, authors, and even a professional wrestler. Subscribe to the Force 5 Podcast, and you won't just be a listener, you'll be a list nerd. The Force 5 Podcast, available wherever you're listening now.
The following podcast will contain spoilers, tangents, hot takes, and excessive foul language. Viewer discretion is advised. Enjoy the show.
Welcome back to Frightmares Podcast. I'm your host, Austin Proctor, and joining me today for episode 394 is my good friend, Derek Ferreira.
What's up?
What's that? Oh my God, I dated myself right there. All the Gen Zs out there. What's up? Yeah, go Google that. Anyways, golly. Today on another installment of Animaugust Attack, we're discussing our modern pick, Cocainebear from 2023. And I mean, it's a fucking bear on cocaine. I don't need a witty one-liner. The movie writes itself at this point. So, nothing from me. Let's see where this lands on the Nightmare Index. Oh, shit. Okay, Derek. Have you watched anything recently, sir? I don't know why it took so long to say that.
That's fine. Page Master?
What the fuck is Page Master?
The Page Master with Macaulay Culkin, where he's sucked into the animated world.
Why don't I know that one?
I don't know. It's like I literally put it on one night because it's like an hour and 15 minutes long, and I was like, yeah, I'll just check this out. Not a shit. Grave Dancers, one of the After Dark Horror Fest movies from back when that used to be a thing.
Are those like those 8 horror movies you would like? It was like an 8-pack of movies or whatever.
Yeah, the 8 films to die for.
Yeah. Oh, no shit.
I've been slowly recollecting them all. That one was solid enough. It gave me straight vibes of this didn't get a theatrical release because there wasn't enough star power in it. Other than that, graphically, plot, everything was no different than like The Boogeyman or Darkness Falls from back in the early 2000s. But nobody to carry it, because I want to say the biggest name, and I don't even remember his name, is the brother from Prison Break. Not the one who's trying to break out the brother, but the one who's already in prison.
Yeah. Fucking, I want to say Daryl, but I know that's not right. Sam. No, fucking Dominic Purcell. That guy.
Yep.
That's the guy.
That's about the biggest name in that movie. Other than that, what did I give it? A 2.5. I watched House on Haunted Hill in preparation to do Return to House on Haunted Hill because I had never seen it, but I know you said that it was really good. And then Night of the Dribbler, which is a micro budget from Canada. And yeah, it was a movie. So I had no idea that it was an actual comedy horror going into it. We're talking like Student Bodies, if you've ever seen that kind of comedy.
What were they dribbling? Was it basketballs or?
Oh yeah. The killer is a man with a basketball on his head.
Whew, man, I went to some weird places there with that. Okay.
Wait.
What, you got it right behind you? Of course you do.
So I got it in this Shoesting Slashers from Terror TerrorVisions, right? Yeah, TerrorVisions.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell you, they want to make sure that you can't get the movies out of their boxes.
Look,
these are in there tight.
Okay, look. So I am gonna say something that everyone's gonna think I'm lying about. So I bought remember that Twilight box set that came out a while back that had all the movies in it. I bought that for my wife. Everyone's probably thinking I'm lying. The movies are great trash to watch, but I bought that for her, and it had a case like that. You know how normally when you get like a steel case box set, they have like the padding in there so they can easily get them in and out. This was a like laminated cardboard case. Literally, I fucking ripped that thing to shreds, and I put them in steel case Malco protectors and put them on my shelf because it was the most horrid fucking box I had ever seen in my life. See, but those are just all stacked on top of each other, right? They're just like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, see, the fucking Twilight one had little cardboard in between all of them. It was impossible to get them out.
Yeah,
Sorry,
sounds awful.
fucking tangent. But yes, that's from TerrorVision. I thought for some reason, Shoestring Slashers was Vinegar Syndrome. I don't know why, but I've been wanting to get that one.
I specifically got it because I saw somebody doing an unboxing, and there was this one in there too, the 90s Nightmare.
Ooh.
And although I haven't heard of a single movie in this, I'm a sucker for the artwork that was on the front. Not that you can really see it with my 12 megapixel camera here. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, it looks like trash I would have watched on USA Network or whatever. Oh, but Night of the Dribbler 2, because there's
a second one?
No, sorry. No. I gave it a 2.
Oh, I was like, there's 2 of these movies.
There were a couple parts in it that like legitimately gave me a good laugh, but I did not expect the satirical comedy going into it. I expected so bad it's funny, kind of.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is actually a comedy movie. Okay, well, the comedy worked. The horror? Holy shit, no. Werewolves on Wheels? Yeah. This was kind of like that, where there was a lot of scenes of like people playing basketball while they were trying to be funny, and there wasn't. It was like watching I don't know, kind of.
I can't even compare it to anything. I don't even know what to compare it to.
It would be like watching, well, maybe not around you because you're in Florida, but it would be like watching the high school basketball team play on the community channel here. Like, that's the vibe that it gave. It was like, oh, okay.
It's no Luck of the Irish, okay? If you know that movie from Disney Channel, the crowd went silent.
Oh, no, I absolutely remember it.
Well, wait, what did you think of Return to Silent Hill? Because, like, I legitimately, like, it's not, okay. It's so hard to explain. Like, it's not a good movie, but I have such a great time with it. I don't know. Did you like Return?
Is that the newest one?
Return to House on Haunted Hill from 2007?
Oh, no. So I watched the first one in preparation, but I have not watched the second one yet.
Got you. I enjoy it more than the first one, but really mainly because the first one, even though you have Jeffrey Combs, you have fucking Captain Barbossa. I can never remember his goddamn name. And it's that ending CG sequence is just so bad. But Return to House on Haunted Hill is so much fun, so much gore. Jeffrey Combs is back, by the way. It's not really a spoiler. He's back again. I don't know why. But it's a difference of like a 3-star and a 3.5. I gave, like, does it deserve a 3.5 Return? No. But it's the time I had with it. Fucking great time.
Speaking of bad CGI, I also rewatched The Final Girls the other night. Have you ever seen that?
I love that movie. Does it have bad CGI?
Oh my God. The whole scene in the theater where, like, right before they go into, I forgot how bad it was too. Cause it had been a while since I watched it. And I was like, oh yeah, like the dude lights up the joint and then there's bad CG as it hits the line of liquor causing the fire and stuff.
Okay.
And then the part when they initially try to escape the camp, I don't know if it was bad, but it was really wonky CG and it kind of gave me a headache for a split second. But fuck, man, prime example of a great PG-13 horror movie.
Yeah, no one expects that to be PG-13, but it is.
And it was, I remember liking it, but on a rewatch, I was like, this hits, maybe because I have a child who's that age, and like I saw like the whole fucking like mother-daughter thing. Obviously I have a son, but like,
Yeah.
you know, that's still that dynamic of like the mother being like, well, you're the best thing that ever happened to me, and then like it hit me in the feels because of my wife and shit, and I was like, oh yeah, this is so good. And where the fuck is the sequel? Forgot that it left us on a cliffhanger, spoiler.
Yeah.
But come on.
Well, and
Give us the sequel.
not even to fucking mention, you have Thaisa Farmiga, Malin Akerman, who is literally one of my heartthrobs. She is gorgeous. I love Malin Akerman. And then you have Nina Dobrev. You've got Adam Devine before he... Well, that might have been during Workaholics, now that I think about it. But you've got Adam Devine. You've got Thomas Middleditch. If you don't know the name, he's been in so many movies. He's been in a lot of the Godzilla movies. He's been in Kong Skull Island, Zombieland, Double Tap. You know the face. Great fucking cast. And then you have Alia Shawkat, who is in Green Room. It's such a great cast, and it's so fucking funny. And yeah, you would not guess that is a PG-13 movie. And it's so good. Yeah, that was episode something on this podcast. We did that like a year or two ago. No, 2 years ago. We didn't do it last year. Yeah, we did it 2 years ago. I love that movie. Anything else you got? Is that it?
Nope. That was it.
All right, let's go look at the old letterboxed here. I don't remember the last thing I talked about. Oh, yes, I do. Oh, did I mention Hungry on the last episode? I don't think I did. So I watched Hungry, sent over by Alliance Entertainment, and let me see what the description says, because I don't want to like ruin anything. Okay, it does. There's a fucking hippo in the Louisiana swamplands. I'm not even sure that's real. I don't even think that can happen. I'm pretty sure hippos are like native to not this country. Maybe I'm fucking stupid. I don't know. But it's essentially Hatchet, but instead of Victor Crowley, it's a fucking hippo.
I also heard
strange.
that it takes a while for the hippo.
It's like Jaws in that respect. It does take a bit, and sometimes the hippo looks fantastic, and then sometimes it doesn't. It's fun. It's like a good stupid movie. 2.5 stars. Like, it's fine. It's not really good, but it's not bad. It's enjoyable.
It's currently sitting in my DVD player. It made it that far.
And
then I went to watch it and I fell asleep. Not while watching it, just prior to hitting play.
Okay, and then my cult movie challenge for last week, because I'm behind on all this shit, it was Psychotronic Encyclopedia Week. Don't even ask me what that shit is, because I didn't even research it this time. I went to the Letterboxd list, and there was thousands of movies to choose from, so I filtered it through horror and what is readily streaming, and I fucking hit shuffle, and the first thing that popped up, funny enough, was a movie called Dementia, because the week before I watched Dementia 13. This movie's from 1955. It is a silent film, which is very strange because the talkies have been a thing for about 20 years at this point. And it was one of the craziest movies I've seen in quite some time. Nothing made sense, but then at the end, that's when everything snaps it together. It's a 58-minute movie. Just go watch it. It is streaming on Prime, I want to say. Tubi and Plex. Okay, so whatever. But yeah, it's literally 58 minutes. It's the craziest shit I've seen in so long, especially for the time, too.
What year did it come out?
1955. Technically 1953, but then it got banned for... I can't remember what. I have a huge review I did on it, but it got banned because of... definitely two scenes I can understand why it got banned, because it's 1955 and they hadn't done shit like that. And then eventually it got released in 1955 instead of 1950. Dude, it's a whole thing. I went down a rabbit hole with this movie. My review is 5 paragraphs because it's part of my cult movie challenge, and I'm reviewing all of those movies. So go read that if you have time.
And I'm sorry, what the fuck did you say the subject was for?
The prompt?
Yeah.
Psychotronic Encyclopedia.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Which is fitting for Dementia. Rewatched Basket Case because I gave that a 2-star for some reason. I don't know why. I was probably drunk or something, because that was like 6 years ago. That's a 3.5-star movie. Great time. I have Basket Case 2 and 3 to watch soon. Don't know how that's going to be a thing, because if you've seen the ending of Basket Case, I don't know how they're going to continue. Watched Mo Better Blues for another podcast, that Shameless Picture Show. Spike Lee joint, 3.5 stars. New movie for 3 new movies for this year, actually. Bury the Devil, which is a one-shot movie sent over by Pixel Scene Media. Really like that one, 3.5 stars. It's a one-shot movie. It's really good. Nightborn with Rupert Grint and some Finnish lady that I don't know. That was a upsetting movie, and I don't really think me and my wife were both like, what's going on? 3 stars for the performances and the set pieces. And then a movie called Hellcat that just dropped as well on Shudder, a bottle film in an RV or in a trailer that's attached to a truck. Crazy shit, 4 stars. So I recommend all of them. Nightborn, they don't explain enough, right? And then Hellcat, it was just so well done for being it's literally, it takes like 90% of this movie takes place in the fucking back of a trailer RV, like one of the ones you pull behind a truck, whatever those fucking things. Yeah. Like Silver Bullet, whatever. So that one was really good. People I haven't even heard of in the movie. Main actress was great. Main guy was great. There's like 3 people in the movie. I was so impressed. And there's kind of a twist that you'll never see coming. Fucking so out of left field. But those were all really good. And then this weekend is Insidious. Seeing it Saturday, like fucking way too late. It's going to be past my bedtime. There will be a bonus episode ideally out on that. I don't even know if I'm going to have time at this point, but I am excited because I have this many expectations. For the listeners at home, I have 2 zeros up. We don't need this movie, but it's a different family and it's a different story. So, as Cory put it, the only thing this movie can do is impress me because I have 0 expectations. So, that's where I'm at with that. If that's all we have, we can move on. I think that's all I've got. I'm trying to think if I had another announcement for a movie I watched, but I can't think of anything. Are you good to move on?
Yep, good to move on.
Let's do it. Let's go into the body count. I have a fan on underneath me because I get so hot in here, and I'm hoping that it's not like I can hear it, but I don't know. We'll see. So this is 2 things from the corrections department real quick. So The Bay actually landed at a 3.09 out of 5 and fell in between Vampire and Brooklyn at a 2.84 and at a 3.13. Also, The Bay on Tubi had the glitches that Cory was talking about. Because I checked my DVD and there were no glitches, and I counted 42 glitches on the Tubi version of The Bay. So apologies to anybody who watched that on Tubi. They have some corrupt ass version. Go buy the DVD. I don't know what the fuck that was about. It was baffling to me. Anyways, this is Cocainebear from 2023, released on February 24th. I don't know. Whatever. In February, fuck it. Perfect time for Valentine's Day. Rated R for bloody violence, gore, drug content, no shit, and language throughout. No sex and nudity, severe violence and gore, severe profanity, severe alcohol, drugs, and smoking, again, no duh, and moderate frightening and intense scenes. Runtime of 1 hour and 35 minutes. This isn't even a fucking horror movie, which it's a comedy crime thriller.
Oh, if you Google it, it says horror comedy.
And I looked on IMDb and Letterboxd. Crime, comedy, thriller. What the fuck? So
to be fair, it does fall more into those categories, but I guess we'll have to go by Google because it says horror comedy and.
So it's a bear on cocaine attacking people. That is an animal attack horror movie. So this is the one time I don't agree with Letterboxd or IMDb. Rarely do I disagree with them. But I wouldn't have had this on my honorable mentions list if it wasn't listed. I swear to God, they changed this shit sometimes. Because there was a time when I checked IMDb and it listed The Sixth Sense as a horror movie. And then I checked it again when I was going to add it to the roster, not a horror movie. I'm like, I swear to God, they change these things from time to time. Or maybe it's some weird fucking Mandela effect. I don't know. That's besides the point. I'm already rambling here. This was directed by Elizabeth Banks. She's only directed 2 other movies, Pitch Perfect 2 and Charlie's Angels in 2019. Don't know what the fuck made her want to do this, but I love the arc there of directing. We have We have written by Jimmy Warden. He also wrote The Babysitter Killer Queen, composed by Mark Mothersbaugh, and he composed Happy Gilmore, 21 Jump Street, and Thor Ragnarok. Fucking okay. Cinematography by John Julisarian. He did the cinematography for Candyman 2021. Edited by Joel Negron. He did Sleepy Hollow, House of Wax, and Project Hail Mary. Again, just wild projects. Starring Kerry Russell as, I guess I never heard her name, but it's S-A-R-I. Is that Sari or Sari? I don't think I fucking ever heard her name said in the movie. So that's her name.
I can't pronounce a goddamn thing, so I am not the person to turn to for that.
I'm thinking it's Sari. I did fucking whatever. She was in Antlers as Julia Meadows, which we reviewed last year, I believe. Then we have Alden Ehrenreich as Eddie. He was in Solo as Han Solo. O'Shea Jackson Jr. as David, who was also in Straight Outta Compton as Ice Cube. I guess Ice Cube was fucking busy to play himself, which is weird. Ray Liotta as Sid. I shouldn't have to tell you who he is, but he was in Goodfellas as Henry Hill. Then you have Isaiah Whitlock Jr. as Bob, who was in Da 5 Bloods as Melvin. This is just a god-awful name, and I feel bad for this child. Brooklyn Prince. It's not a great name. As Dee Dee. She was in The Florida Project as Mooney. The Florida Project is one of the most detestable movies on planet Earth, and I will stand by that. She was fine, but I fucking hate that movie. And so was Honora.
Can we backtrack for like 2 seconds? Because I just wanted to go back to the music composed by.
Yeah.
You said the name, and I was like, I had to Google it real quick. It is the same guy who composed the music for Rugrats too, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Rugrats. Yeah, he did the movies and some of the show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
You said the name, and I was like, I've seen that name a million fucking times. Rugrats and a bunch of other Nickelodeon shit.
Probably gonna get a.
But I also never realized that he was the keyboardist for Devo either. So
yes, man has done a lot. Then we have Christian Convery as Henry. He was in the Monkey as Young Hal. Estimated budget of $35 million, which is crazy. I guess they had to spend a lot of money on the cocaine, I'm not sure. And then a worldwide box office gross of $88.3 million. Filmed in Dublin, Ireland, because apparently all the woods in America were being used at that time. And also Universal Studios in California. You can watch this on Peacock. Movies that came out around the same time, we were fucking spoiled for horror movies. Now, not all of these are horror movies, but just wait. It's also the year that every movie had the longest title ever. So John Wick Chapter 4, Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumanium, fuck. But Evil Dead Rise, Scream 6, Late Night with the Devil, Shazam Fury of the Gods, Knock at the Cabin, Creed 3, 65, that dinosaur movie with Adam Driver that fucking everyone forgot about, We Have a Ghost, and The Wrath of Becky. We were spoiled. And that's between January and March. Wild shit. IMDb summary: an oddball group of cops, criminals, tourists, and teens converge on a Georgia forest where a huge black bear goes on a murderous rampage after unintentionally ingesting cocaine. Let's go into the autopsy. I love how it's set in Georgia, and they filmed so many fucking movies in Georgia, but they were like, Ireland.
It always comes down to money, though. Yeah. It's probably cheaper, and it looks the most like Georgia.
But also, it was $35 million. What the fuck? You don't have any locations except outside.
You could go film in my backyard, and you'll probably run into an actual fucking black bear. So just eat it cocaine, you're good to go.
Yeah, golly. All right, so had you seen this movie before?
Yes.
Okay, what are your overall thoughts on Cocaine Bear?
Cocaine Bear is a wonderful, true story. Fun fucking time.
Yeah, plain and simple. I remember when I saw the announcement for this. I remember seeing a while back, it was like, Cocaine Bear, directed by Elizabeth Banks. And I was like, yeah, sure. Okay. And then, obviously, this is a real movie now because we're reviewing it. But I thought it was hilarious because I was like, what the fuck is this? Cocaine Bear? What? And then I did some research and I was like, oh, we'll get into it because I have a whole bunch of notes. But it is based on a true story. Obviously, much of it is fictionalized. But it is a great time. I mean, it's a bear on cocaine ripping people apart. It's hilarious at times. It's horrifying at other times. It's all shot beautifully. I mean, this movie is so much better than people give it credit because it has really bad ratings. And this goes back to my fucking thing about people just not being able to have a good time with movies. This movie, by all accounts, is a fantastic time. It really is. And if you can't have fun with this, I can't fucking help you. That's what I'm going to leave it at.
You went into this expecting nothing but just a fun time. Like, it's called Cocainebear. That's like watching Raccoon and expecting something from it.
That's what I'm saying. You know the name. Like, this is one of those movies where you know what you're getting into just by the name. Typically, there's times where you like have to watch a trailer and know what you're getting into. Cocainebear. If you don't expect to see a bear on cocaine going crazy and you're expecting some fucking masterpiece, you're not going to get it. I mean, my God, it's a masterpiece for completely different reasons, not for conventional standards. But I went to rate this and I was like, I cannot believe the terrible rating on Letterboxd it has. People just don't know how to fucking have fun. Whatever, dude. Anyways, this is based. Okay, you know what? I'm not even gonna say based. This is inspired by real events, right? It's not
100% inspired.
It's not based on, but in 1985, there was a 175-pound male American black bear. Found a duffel bag full of cocaine that had been dumped in the wilderness by drug smuggler Andrew Thornton. The bear ingested the cocaine, fatally overdosed, and then was eventually discovered dead in northern Georgia. He was later taxidermied and became something of a bizarre pop culture icon in the shopping mall in Kentucky. He's also named Pablo Escobar, which is hilarious. And so that's obviously so much less exciting than the movie because the bear didn't go on a cocaine.
No, but I didn't know he was taxidermied somewhere because I kind of want to see that now.
That's a fun fact. But yeah, he did not go on a cocaine-fueled killing spree. He ate cocaine, he died, and blah, blah, blah. So, I love how someone clearly someone, Elizabeth Banks, saw this story and was like, I can make a movie out of this. This hasn't been done before. Name a movie before this where an animal ingests a drug and goes crazy. I mean, Cujo got rabies, right? That's not the same fucking thing. And I should have done more research to prepare for this because I'm bringing up a topic that I did no research for. But if you can name a movie where an animal touches a substance that they're not supposed to have and goes killing people, please let me know. But I can't think of anything.
Not a drug substance? Honestly, I'm blanking if there's even like a toxic waste substance where this movie happens. I think any movie where an animal gets into drugs came as a mockbuster to this movie.
I mean, you do have The Host from Bong Joon-ho, where they dump a bunch of formaldehyde into the water system in South Korea, but then that's like a mutated monster. That's not the same thing either.
That's not no.
So, yeah. Anyways, let's get into this movie here. Before we even get to the bear, because we get to the bear right off the rip. It's fucking great. But we get text on screen, and this is one of my favorite things about a movie. It says, typically, black bears aren't like territorial. They rarely attack humans in their vicinity, and people have a higher probability of surviving an attack by fighting back rather than submitting. And then it's like, source, Wikipedia. That sets the tone for the rest of the movie. And you know what? That might be a part of the movie where people got lost, and they were like, fuck this movie. This is going to be terrible because of that. For me, I laughed so hard, I almost puked my pants. I don't know. What do you feel about that?
Much like you, I already went into this knowing that it was going to be what it was. So seeing something like that, it was like, oh, yes. I appreciate that subtle humor thrown right in at the beginning. And
yeah, they lean into it immediately. Like, it's called Cocainebear. We're starting with a ridiculous caption they say sourced by Wikipedia. I think they just made it up and then said that. But I'm assuming they had to pay Wikipedia something to use their name. But it's such a great opening because it's like, here's a fact about black bears. Now forget every single one of those facts because we're in a movie where a black bear becomes a cocaine-fueled killing machine. And I think right away the movie that establishes how ridiculous the movie is right away. It's not trying to convince us this is going to be some serious, horror thriller. It's not pretending that the bear is like fucking scientifically accurate. It's a giant, stupid, self-aware horror comedy and commits to that premise immediately. And I appreciate that because it's not trying to be something it's not. Right off the bat, they're like, this is how stupid this is going to be. And I really appreciate when a movie does that. So that's just my take on that. I don't want you to try and sit here and tell me I'm about to see like a Christopher Nolan level mindfuck. You're like, no, this is how stupid we're going to be. Thank you, movie. Thank you, Elizabeth Banks, who randomly directed this movie. Did you catch the random Frozen reference in the beginning of this movie?
No.
The only reason I did is because I watch movies with captions because I'm deaf. The two people that get attacked in the beginning are named Olaf and Elsa.
I guess I just didn't put two and two together.
Yeah. And considering that movie has a snowy backdrop and there's some snow in this movie, I guess it feels appropriate. I never noticed that until I had the subtitles on, because it'll say Elsa, semicolon, her line, Olaf, semicolon, his line. I was like, are they fucking referencing Frozen right now? Jesus Christ. But Elsa doesn't make it very far. She gets gooshed pretty fucking quick, which I find interesting because usually in those situations it's the guy that dies, but they were like, fuck this lady, her first, and she gets brutally attacked. I fucking loved that. And then Olaf, well, he's we don't really know what happens to him until later in the movie. Did you think he died right away, or did you think he was going to come back?
With something like this, I would have just assumed that he would have been shrugged off as dead. If I had gone into this as like a fucking Scream, whodunit, or just like a regular slasher, not seeing his death might have made me be like, he could come back. But with something like this, it was kind of like that. Does it matter if he comes back at all anyway?
And it really didn't matter that he came back. It was just funny because it's like,
yeah,
that man has seen some shit. Poor Olaf. What the fuck? He lost the love of his life. So yeah, that was a great opening, and the CG on the bear is a little wonky, but I did see some BTS photos of the bear, and they do have I don't know if they were just they had a practical bear head that I'm assuming they were kind of just using and then built. I don't know exactly the process, but I know I did see a practical bear head at one point. So when they used it, I'm not sure, but that's besides the point. Getting into kind of the meat and potatoes here of this story, there are two children in this movie, as I mentioned, and surprisingly, they're fantastic kid actors, not just because they're good at acting, but because I liked them. And usually one of two things happens with kid actors. They're not good or I fucking hate them. And for me, I enjoyed both of the kid performances in this. I think they were great together, but I'm wondering if that was just me or if you enjoyed their performances as well.
No, I think they did they did a good enough job. I could go either way. Like, obviously there are plenty of movies where kids need to be part of it, but like, I guess you're right. They're either just good or they're not really. And these guys, they work together well, and their performances, you can kind of tell when a kid actor's gonna get left in the dust. Let's be real. Like, it's sad and it sucks because, like, especially if these kids are like, like this is what they want to do, but like it's bad, dude. A lot, I can't act. I'll admit it, and kids can't act. So
so that's what I loved about this, because it's Dee Dee and Henry, and they're both believable. I like Dee Dee's kind of not attitude, but the relationship she has with her mom, Carrie Russell. It felt very real. It felt very genuine. And then she has her friend Henry, and they had great chemistry together. Because, like I said, I either don't like the kid actors, like they're good kid actors, but I just don't like them because they're pieces, like they're annoying. Like the Florida Project, going back to that, all the kids in that movie I wanted to fucking punt to the moon. They were so goddamn annoying. But in this movie, I felt that they were great. I don't know if they were a necessity for this movie, because you do have a lot of moving pieces with how many different people are going into the forest for different reasons.
Yeah.
But as a father, I did now, at least as a father, because when I first saw this, obviously I wasn't a dad, but now as a father, I connect to that aspect of my kid just wanted to go see the waterfall. I wanted to take her to see my new kind of, she's like, I want to go take you to see my new boyfriend. I can understand that resistance. And they bring up a thing that's a trope in a lot of movies where the single parent, meets somebody new, and the kids just bash with that person, but they don't even reveal the guy that she's seeing. She just wanted to go paint the waterfall before she went. So her kid going missing and Carrie Russell tracking her down, I felt a connection to, because I'd be like, fuck's my kid. I gotta go find this goddamn kid in the fucking Chattahoochee forest. So I related to that as a dad.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of, I guess, subplots that, like, if you were going to keep them in, obviously you need the drug dealer. It's almost like they shoehorned in a bunch of subplots of why people ended up in the forest to amp up the kills.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they kind of had to add as many different characters, because you really have like 4 different, let me see here, I wrote this down. Yeah, you have like 4 different people going into the woods. You have Carrie Russell looking for her her daughter and Henry, who is accompanied by the park ranger Liz and Matt, or whatever his name, the guy with the goofy fucking hair and the bandana around his neck. Then you have the guys who are working for Eddie's father going to look for the cocaine. And you got this rogue cop from like a county over, something like that. Just like, I have to be involved in this. I knew the guy that fell from the plane. He's like my white whale. And even the lady was like, well, that's not even in your jurisdiction. He's like, I'm going to go there and I'm going to solve this fucking crime because I need to get him. And then there was one more, right? David and Eddie, the mom. And then you had the cop. And I mean, I guess you could rope in Sid, Ray Liotta's character, because he comes out there by himself. So you have like 4 different people going into the woods. But I don't, and we'll get to that in a second, because I think the storytelling is actually surprisingly good. But before we move, I wanted to talk about the kids doing cocaine, because that was so fucking hilarious when they find the cocaine in the forest and they go to open it and they take the knife and they scoop out probably like 2 or 3 grams of cocaine. And I remember watching that in the theater in front of God and everyone. I was like, oh, that's too much, like really loudly. And I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, okay, whoopsies. And then, of course, they end up spitting most of it out, because I was like, that would have been an overdose right there. Kids that size just jamming an 8-ball down their throat. Like, oh, my God. So that was hilarious. I thought that was funny. I mean, I'm not, I don't want kids doing drugs out there, but I thought that was absolutely hilarious. Because the kids, Henry's trying to seem cool in front of Dee Dee, like, oh, I do drugs all the time. And then he eats it and he's like, oh, these are terrible. These aren't the drugs I normally do. It's fucking great. So I really love that. I thought that was funny. And again, I'm not advocating children doing fucking drugs. But anyways. So the storytelling is what I wanted to talk about next, because I do feel like it's pretty strong. We mentioned there's like 4 or 5 timelines, or not timelines, but like 4 or 5 storylines, but I don't really feel like it's overwhelming or they're trying to do too much at once. How do you feel about how many people were involved and the end goal for everyone?
Personally, I don't think it was too much at all, but like upon watching it and then reading reviews and stuff for like I was just like, yeah, I mean, I guess I can see why that might have turned some people off, because like there were a handful of reviews that I read where people were like, too much going on. I'm like, yeah, but like there's a lot of subplots going on, but at the same time, is there too much? Because like really it's just bringing them all together so they can all be in the forest and get fucking killed. Like,
yeah. It would be one thing if you had 4 different plot lines where people were going different ways, but nearly everyone arrives at the ranger station and goes from there. So you're just watching people at different moments in time arrive at this ranger station and continue on with their day. So I really enjoyed that. So obviously the beginning opens with the guy, and this is such a great opening. It's just a guy who's clearly geeked out of his mind on cocaine, just fucking throwing bags out the window, just fucking yeeting bags. And he straps a bunch to himself, goes to jump out of the plane, and thunk right in the head, and just falls to his death. So again, with the paired opening with the text and then seeing that, I was like, this is so great. So the like I said, the cop recognizes the man from the local news report, realizes something is going on, and goes into the area to investigate. Then you have Henry and Dee Dee skipping school to go to the mountain. Oh, I forgot to include them. Then you have David and Eddie, who actually own the cocaine. Well, their boss does. And then Ranger Liz, Peter, there we go, and Dee Dee's mother go down there as well. So you have all these people going in there. And what I love about this structure is everyone is moving through the same physical space without realizing how interconnected their paths are. And at one moment you see Liz, Peter, and Sari go to the right on one path, and then you see David and Eddie with the punk guy that David beats the shit out of in the bathroom, which was great, go down another path. And the funniest thing to me about that is the cop arrives last, but somehow beats everybody to the gazebo. Did you notice that?
Yeah. It's like he just fucking knew where to go or some shit. Like,
well, I have a feeling that the guy that was leading David and Eddie was kind of beating them around the bush, you know? And Julie, damn it. Sari, Liz, and Peter were going to the falls, which was not the gazebo. So I feel like somehow that cop just like knew, and he beelined it there, beat everybody, and I thought that was hilarious. So
and then gets up on the roof like a that gets stuck there.
That was so great.
How do I get down? Well, I don't know. How the fuck did you even get up?
That's exactly what I said. He's on top of the gazebo when David, Eddie, and that punk guy arrive. And I'm like, how in the fuck did you get up there? And he's like, how do I get down? And I'm like, no, you answer my question first, pal. Like, wait a second. Hold on. And of course, by this point, the bear is already coked up. I mean, I can't believe that Dee Dee got away from the bear, because when Liz and Sari meet Henry, because they find Henry first, because Dee Dee has fucked off somewhere else because she got attacked. And that whole scene where Henry's in the tree and the bear comes around and starts attacking people, and then Peter climbs a tree, and Henry's like, bears can't climb trees, and Peter's like, no, that's like the thing they're good at. It's just like, Jesus Christ, what is happening in this movie? That whole scene was great because fucking Peter doesn't make it. He gets real killed real fast. Sari and Henry manage to make it, and they continue to track down Dee Dee, and then Ranger Liz just fucks off. She's like, I'm going to get help. I'm like, you are the help, aren't you? You've got the gun. Don't you have a radio?
Getting better backup.
Yeah, I'm getting better backup, which is hilarious what happens to her, which we'll get to. So the bear wants more cocaine. I mean, that's it. That's the whole thing. All these people are here for these different reasons. The bear's just like, I need more cocaine in my system. And all of these individual storylines keep colliding until the movie reaches the point where there's basically no longer a plot. It's just momentum. And that's when cocainebear really starts cooking, in my opinion. Like I said, you have the first encounter with Sari, Liz, and Peter. That whole scene was great. She fucks off to the cabin to get real help. And just when you think it can't get any more ridiculous at that point, the EMTs arrive, and they have no idea what they're walking into, which was great. I think... Wait, am I getting my shit confused? No, before the EMTs arrive, the punks are in that little lodge that are still kind of, recuperating after, having a skateboard thrown in their face. And Ranger Liz comes back, and one of the punks is like, oh my God, it's outside the door of the bear. So he opens the door, and then he accidentally gets shot in the head. I can't fucking tell you how much I laugh every time that happens.
Dude, I know, it's totally unexpected.
I always forget about that moment, and every time it happens,
literally,
every time it happens, I'm like, Jesus Christ, I shouldn't be laughing. Someone just accidentally got killed, and the whole conversation was like, "Did you just shoot my bud?" She's like, "It was an accident. He jumped in front of the gun." 10 out of 10 no notes. It's so fucking hilarious. I mean, I don't think he really deserved to die, but goddamn it, like, you just stepped in front of a fucking person with a gun. What are you doing?
Yeah, no, that was one of those things that. Because, like, the first time I watched it, of course, I wasn't expecting that. And then I haven't watched it since it initially released. So I was like, oh, yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
So then, of course, the bear barges his way into that ranger station. And then the EMTs arrive. They can't open the door because the dead guy is behind it. They find Ranger Liz. And the EMT guy is actually a really famous TikToker. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, Scott Seiss.
Yeah, so he's actually like a really famous TikToker. He's in this movie, and he was great.
Dude, he did a fucking like his TikToks are fucking hilarious
Right.
because I'm also an angry fucking retail worker. So like I connect to him, but he's like a pretty, like, at least, the little bit of movie time that he got, like, he's pretty genuinely decent actor. It's unfortunate that he, like, I guess he just does his stand-up comedy or whatever, but like he could totally be in movies and be.
Yeah, no, I agree. He was great in this because after they realize the bear is there, the bear jumps on the door on top of him. Somehow he gets it off. I can't remember. But then the other EMT chick gets Ranger Liz in the fucking gurney, loads her up, and then fucking he's like, wait, and jumps on the back. That whole scene is one of my favorite, probably my favorite fucking scene, because as soon as he gets onto the truck, he can't get the doors closed and can't get the doors closed. And then that shot of the bear bro jumped like 30, 40 feet into the van while it's moving. Such a great shot, but he demolishes everybody in that van. Really, he demolishes, Scott first, and then fucking Ranger Liz like flies out and lands on her face and skids down the road, which I also forgot. That was crazy. And then the lady EMT hits a tree and fucking flies out the window. And I'm like, oh my God, I forgot how everyone in this scene dies. It was
and very graphically.
Very graphically. And that shot of her flying out the window was done so well. Obviously, her flying out was CG, and once you hit a certain part, they flip the CG into her rolling over. But that was great. I was like, well, everybody's dead. And then the bear just fucks off. He's like, yeah, I'm done here. I'm gonna go find some more cocaine and go have some fun. But that was a great scene. The gazebo standoff is another great example of how this movie balances various characters and letting the situation spiral out of control. And I love when the bear does show up wanting more cocaine, and it just kind of starts bear hugging Eddie, and like, I don't know what it's doing. It's just kind of wrestling around, and then it just falls asleep on top of him. And he's like, what does one of them say? He's like, hey, is he still alive? And Eddie's like, she. And like, what do you mean she? He's like, her vagina is on my ear. How do you know that's the vagina, Eddie? How do you know so much about bear anatomy? Oh, fuck. And then the officer just starts raining cocaine on the bear. And it's like peak cinema in so many ways. It's just the most ridiculous, over the top thing. But I love it. I mean, are we on the same page here with how just fun this movie is?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Because really, I mean, I feel like we're basically almost in like a cartoon logic
with real live action.
Right. It feels like so cartoonish, but it's real.
I mean, granted, in this everybody dies, but it's very, like that Home Alone-esque where like shit's happening that would never really happen, and it's very Looney Tunes. Only in Home Alone they don't fucking die. But
I still
fucking dead.
I still really, I mean, we kind of have an adult Home Alone. It's Saw, but like I genuinely want to see an adult, like an R-rated Home Alone where it's set in a house where this guy is setting, I would love to see that. Fucking love to see that. So yeah, you have all that happen, and then Ray Liotta fucking shows up out of nowhere. And this is also kind of like an emotional moment too when Ray Liotta shows up, because Eddie and David are like, fuck this, we're done, we're leaving. And they run into Ray Liotta, and he's like, no, you don't understand. These people are going to be coming after me if they don't care, if we don't get this cocaine. They don't care what happens. They care about the money that they're losing. So if they come after me and I don't have it, they're going to come after my family. And I was like, ooh, that hit me on like oh, fuck, you're right. Like, he doesn't really want to do this either, but he's like, I need to protect my family. And you can tell that Eddie and Sid have had a very fucked up relationship because his dad is a cocaine dealer. Also, Eddie's girlfriend, someone died.
Whatever.
Yeah. And he was just, oh my God, when he's sitting there eating the chicken wings at the edge of the bar, it's a sad moment, but it's so goddamn funny. So there's actually like some emotional stakes to this movie. I mean, there really is, which is interesting for Cocaine Bear. You don't expect to like have those kind of heartfelt moments, but they're in there. And I think I love Ray Liotta in this movie for many reasons. One, it's Ray Liotta. He's a legend. But two, this is actually the last movie that was finished before he passed away. And he's usually this tough guy. being, like Goodfellas and like he's just usually this tough guy. But in this movie, he gets mauled by baby bears, and like it's like I love like that's how he went out. You know what I mean? Like it's sad because he literally died in real life, but it's like this is one of the last things he did, and he's getting mauled by baby bears. I think it's just a kind of a funny way for him to like leave a legacy.
He's like, look, I've been in enough acclaimed fucking movies. Not that he knew that this would be his last movie, but
right.
I think every actor of status gets to a point where they're like, I can. You know what? I'm fucking Ray Liotta. I can do whatever I want. I was in Goodfellas. I was in fucking dude. I fucking love Ray Liotta and Wild Hogs. Have you ever seen that?
Dude, I love Wild Hogs. It's like it's such a dumb movie, but I fucking love Wild Hogs. And
same.
He's so serious in that movie when he really is just. It's like there's no reason to be this angry about suburban bikers. he's like it's assholes like you who think they're bikers, and he gets so easy rider on it. It's so fucking funny. But yeah, I legitimately love him in Wild Hogs. I was gonna say Wild Hogs, but I didn't want people to be like, that's the fucking thing you pick. So thank you for mentioning.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, no,
dude. Like that was a movie that like has no right to be as good as it is. Let's be real.
It's hilarious, honestly. It has terrible ratings, but it's so funny to me. Of course, now I can't remember his name. The shoveler from Mystery Men, William H. Macy, is peak comedy in that movie. He is so fucking funny, and him together with Tim Allen, John Travolta, and Martin Lawrence is it's so funny. I love it so much. It is definitely one of those guilty pleasure movies because by all accounts, it's really not like a good movie, but it's so fucking funny. I mean, that scene at the end of the movie where they get their bar rebuilt and that one guy is like crying over it. It's like, oh! Like, it's so fucking funny. Hell yeah, justice for Wild Hogs.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, Ray Liotta's a fucking legend. Like, I mean, him just even being in this movie for the little bit that he had was so. I remember seeing the trailer for this, and I was like, "The fucking Ray Liotta, what are you doing in Cocaine Bear?" Like, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, no notes. The bear itself is. We got to talk about the star of the movie here. It's not great. Like I said, it's not great CG at some times, but other times it's pretty solid. And I know there was definitely some sort of a like bear head that was used, I'm assuming for like those close-up moments. But then at the end of the day, it's definitely fully CG because I don't think there's a moment where any part of that bear is real. I could be wrong.
Yeah, it's a definitely. No, I think you're right. I think it was all. Even if it was a real bear, they used CG to blend it with the rest of the CG bear that they had to create.
Yeah, but it's not like damaging to the movie in my opinion, because it's like I said, we're already kind of in this cartoonish world, so this bear that doesn't look fully real isn't a deal breaker for me, because I'm like it's already so cartoonish. So it's one of those times.
But I mean, it's good enough. It's not like it's cut and paste from a clip art like sci-fi original style or whatever.
That would be,
you feel like these people are actually interacting with this bear, whether they were or not.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly my point. So you feel like he's really there doing these crazy things, sniffing lines of cocaine. It's fucking hilarious. And so, yeah, so like it doesn't really take away from the movie at all for me. Because again, we're watching Cocaine Bear. Like the visual effects accomplish what they need to accomplish. A giant black bear running around the woods, terrorizing people on cocaine. And occasionally behaving like it's having the best fucking day of its life, which is hilarious, because that moment when the cop is like dangling all the cocaine off the side, he's like on his hind legs, just kind of like sniffing. And then he's just doing this scene where he's like got his tongue out and it's in slow motion. And it's hilarious. Like it doesn't even make sense, but that's kind of the whole point, because I don't even think the bear is hunting them because he hates people. They're just obstacles between him and his next bump of coke. He just wants the cocaine. Like give this.
Yeah, I mean, he's an animal who doesn't understand what's going on. Like most cokeheads, he just wants more coke.
I need another bump, man. So yeah, I mean, really, that's the only thing that doesn't work for me is the CG. But like I said, it doesn't really impact my rating. It's just sometimes I'm like, that's a little rough, especially when the baby bears pop up, and it's like the last scene of the movie where the new people are filming the bear and the cubs pop up, and I was like, oh, that's a little rough. But what I love about the ending where Ray Liotta is getting mauled to death by these bears, it's a dark scene by a waterfall. So a lot of that CG is able to be kind of masked within the darkness and how it's contrasted. So
agreed, yeah.
That was a great moment. And then, he just gets his entrails ripped open and then falls off the cliff. And doesn't he get he gets hung by his own entrails, right? He falls off the cliff and then his fucking intestines get caught on a branch, and then he gets hung up, and I'm like, that is just a terrible
insult to injury. What the fuck?
Like, good Lord, you guys just don't know when to stop. So I think the only thing I have is the ending, which kind of ties back in to the beginning, where it says authorities never recovered any of Andrew Thornton's dumped cocaine. As far as we know, it's still somewhere out in the forest. And I love that because it's such a silly joke. By the way, we haven't still found the cocaine. It's probably not good at this point anymore. It's been 30, 40 years. Probably not good. It's probably, unless it was vacuum sealed, but even then I probably wouldn't touch it. And don't shut off the movie immediately, because there are a couple of mid-credit scenes that you see. And then at the end of the credits, you hear this growl and then and I thought that was hilarious. It's so silly.
For a sequel. No.
Yeah, I apparently there is, I mean, at least according to Letterboxd, there is a Cocaine Bear 2 on Letterboxd. And I mean, sure, why the fuck not? Why wouldn't you? I mean, come on, just more carnage. This doesn't even have to have so many working parts, because Ray Liotta's dead. Eddie and fucking David left. Carrie Russell has her kid back. You could just make this about people just getting fucked up in the woods.
Fucking yeah. It could almost be just an animal slasher movie if you ever made a sequel.
Please give me a bear on cocaine with a giant machete. That is exactly what I want.
Well, I didn't mean like that, but I meant the camper style. 5 or 6 people go out into the woods to camp, and then they run into the bear.
No, I know.
But I will gladly accept a bear on cocaine, fucking slashing people Jason style as well.
He just picks it up in his mouth and just starts fucking whipping it around.
No, man, fuck that. Let's just go all out. Grabs it with his paw, acts like Jason. If we're gonna go that balls to the wall bonkers, let's go.
Oh my God, I really need that movie. Also, completely unrelated to Cocaine Bear, but I just remembered because you brought up Werewolves on Wheels at the beginning of this. I am 100%, after I finish editing my wife's screenplay of her vampire movie, I am absolutely writing a better version of Werewolves on Wheels, because I want to make. I just so what I've heard from the industry, right, is if you go pitch a movie, you need to have 2 or 3 done screenplays, so that way people can see if you're a one-hit wonder, or we're not so much on this idea. What else do you have? So me and her trying to bang out some scripts. 100%. I don't even want to give away the name of the movie because I don't want someone to fucking copyright it or trademark it. I'll tell you later, but I am in the process of starting that, because I'm going to basically keep everything the same until they get to the cult. And then after that, everything's going to be different. Because fuck that movie. What a waste of time. And I don't normally shit on movies, but don't call your movie Werewolves on Wheels and give me one werewolf on one wheels. Stupid. I'm sorry I made you watch that.
It's okay.
It's hanging over me for the rest of my life. So anyways, my final thoughts here. Like we mentioned up top, Cocaine Bear is exactly the movie the title promises. It is dumb. It is ridiculous. There is a shocking amount of gore, well structured, and most importantly, it's fun. Guys, this movie is fun, okay? And it's not me sitting here trying to convince you otherwise, but really just turn your brain off, fucking forget about everything in life, and watch a bear on cocaine maul people to death. I think that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing I want to.
The ultimate turn your brain off movie.
Yes.
Pop some fucking popcorn, grab a soda, whatever you like to drink, and sit down and forget that this terrible world exists around us anyway.
Exactly. And I think that's what I'm trying to emphasize here, because the premise is so inherently stupid that the movie could easily become a one-joke novelty. What if a bear did cocaine? And it's funny for 30 seconds, but really The challenge with that statement is figuring out how to turn that into an actual feature-length story, and Elizabeth Banks managed to do it. Well, I mean, I get she directed it, someone else wrote it, regardless.
But still,
they managed to do this, and like in a cohesive manner that was all of the things I just mentioned. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It never takes itself too seriously, and if it understands that the audience showed up for a specific reason. Well, at least the people who liked it, at least, because this movie is not well liked. It is not high art. It's not trying to be. It's just campy, silly fun. Bear, cocaine, problems. I would absolutely watch a sequel if there was one.
Literally one other fucking movie that I watched that I forgot about called The Boy from Below, and it has Dee Wallace in it. But at one point she's talking with somebody because she owns a video store, and she says, no, movies are escapism. You shouldn't be watching stuff that's just going to make you like real life about a movie. That movie was only like a 2, but that little thing that she said just resonated with this whole friggin' thing.
Yeah, no, you're right. Movies are meant to, they are this kind of dream-like fictional place where anything can happen. And I feel that some movies, yes, deserve a critical eye. Like The Shining. The Shining deserves a critical eye to watch that movie and enjoy it. But for this movie, Cocaine Bear, you don't need to be like, we have not been analyzing or critiquing this movie. We've just literally, if you've listened to this episode all the way up to now, we've been talking about the things that were fun about this movie, because there's nothing really to analyze. There's no deeper meaning to this movie or subtext or theming really happening here. It's literally just a fun movie.
Exactly.
That's what this is. So any closing thoughts from Derek on Cocaine Bear?
Just watch it and have a good time. If you've never seen it, or if you have seen it and it's been a while, I'm going to end it with, it's just a fun time. So just watch it, enjoy it. What we just rambled on for about 5 minutes.
Yeah. It's just fucking check it out, man. So that is Cocaine Bear from 2023. Let us roll into the final cut. So 2 taglines here, which are both fucking horrible. Get in line, like I get it, a line of cocaine, but get in line for what? Like to be whatever. And then inspired. It's inspired by true events. Okay, terrible. There were so many other great like cocaine puns you could have. It's fine. Trivia: Ray Liotta's final completed film role before his death on May 26, 2022. Fuck, he's been dead for 4 years. Golly, he passed away after he came to re-record his lines in post-production. Elizabeth Banks said that Liotta praised the look of the bear once he got a look at it. Cocaine Bear was intended to be a working title, but the producers decided to release it under that name as they, quote, couldn't think of anything else. Fair enough. Elizabeth Banks cited the work of filmmakers John Carpenter, Sam Raimi, and Steven Spielberg as influences on the film. She also noted that Jaws and Jurassic Park played a role in how she shaped the film. Goofs. These are like some, that's fair. Goofs, the 2 kids eat about a tablespoon of cocaine each, and although they spit most of it out, some would remain in their mouths, and they would have inhaled some of what they spit out, yet they show no effects of having ingested cocaine. That's true. They didn't act crazy. This one I love. Having a stethoscope in your ears does not prevent you from hearing your colleague calling out from the other room. Yeah, that's fair. Thornton is seen dead in the stretcher, but his face and head are normal and undamaged. A fall from an airplane would have severely smashed the whole body, head included. And that's true. That's true. And this one is the fucking petty one. The movie is supposed to take place in 1985, but the ambulance that shows up to the ranger station is a 1994 Ford Ecoline. Get the fuck out of here, nerd! Get out of here! No one needs you, nerd. So, rated 5.9 out of 10 on IMDb. That is a 2.95 out of 5 for our purposes of the Nightmare Index. Then it has a 2.6 out of 5 on Letterboxd, 65% on the tomato meters, 71% audience score. What did you give this?
Give it a 4.
Yeah, baby. I gave it a 4 as well. So that is a Frightmare certified slap. And that gives us a nightmare index of a 3.40, which is going to stand in between Army of the Dead at a 3.35 and Zombies at a 3.44 out of 5.
Okay.
Love that. This is where shit gets crazy. Similar movies according to IMDb: Violent Night, Renfield, Strays, Knock at the Cabin, and Megan. Okay. Similar movies according to Letterboxd: Over Your Dead Body, The Suicide Squad, Lake Placid, The Hunt, and Ready or Not. Okay. I have no words.
Nope. I'm at a blank where they even came up with half that shit.
I don't even understand. As is customary on this show, I forgot to remind you to get funny reviews, so I'll just
I actually tried to look, but I unfortunately couldn't really find anything. We were all just subpar.
All right, I've got you. I've got you. Don't you worry. Okay, 3 stars from Jim Caddick. Was this supposed to put me off cocaine? Question mark.
Okay.
2 stars from Sydney. This would have been a masterpiece if it went 10% harder in some places and 70% harder in others. Ambulance scene was best picture, though.
Agreed.
Sure. No stars, but a heart from David Chen. I liked it when the bear did cocaine. Okay. 5 stars from Alex Vallejo. Can't wait for Fentanyl Moose.
I would watch Fentanyl Moose.
3.5. Well, that one would be the fucking moose doing fentanyl and passing out. Like, fentanyl is a downer. That's not going to do anything.
I don't know my drugs. No.
I'm pretty sure fentanyl's a downer.
Probably.
3.5 stars from Jeeba. I can't believe that Paddington Bear changed his first name to Cocaine.
What?
Paddington Bear, Cocaine Bear.
No, I mean, I get it, but like these people trying to be witty and they're failing.
So
our reaction to your review is better than your review.
That's a fact. So this one I only wrote down because this was so ahead of its time, I guess, because this was reviewed February 24th, 2023, when the movie, like the day the movie came out, right? We can only hope that this marks the beginning of a franchise where different animals take drugs. Really looking forward to LSD Cow. But you have Meth Gator, you have Crack Coon, you have this movie did that. Like, this is the best. This is the best review ever because this happened.
Yeah, it literally spawned a franchise of
Yeah, there's also Cocaine Shark, I'm pretty sure. There's a lot now. Like, people have been definitely trying to, I guess, profit off of Cocaine Bear by doing things like Meth Gator.
There's also Cocaine Shark, Cocaine Crabs from Outer Space, Cocaine Cougar.
Wait, go back to Cocaine Crabs from Outer Space? That's a real movie?
Well, I'm sure it's low budget shit, but it's alien crabs forced into consuming cocaine.
Cocaine crabs, shut the fuck up.
Oh my god, there's Attack of the Meth Gator. There's a whole fucking list on IMDb.
Yeah, there's so many. So that was right there. Wow, 2022. Oh, 2022? This was before Cocaine Bear.
Yes, it was.
It was before Cocaine Bear. When a couple of intergalactic space crabs land on Earth, they encounter the one thing they didn't expect: a duo of dumb frat boys force-feeding them cocaine. As it turns out, cocaine gives space crabs an overbearing impulse to kill. Their string of peculiar homicides has Detective Charlie Reese thinking that something smells fishy. Literally. It's on Screenbox. I'm absolutely watching that. Okay, I'm done. Oh my God. Derek, where can everybody find you on social media? Because you can't ever remember, but I'll try.
You can find me on TikTok at HFK's Movie House. You can find me on Instagram as HFK48. And you can find me on Letterboxd as just D. I remembered. Holy shit.
So, if you enjoy the show, please rate and review on your favorite podcast app of choice. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Slasher, Threads, and YouTube at Frightmares Podcast, or email us stayspooky@outlook.com. You can also follow me personally on Letterboxd at Dr. Proctor. If you'd like to expand your movie podcast listening, be sure to check out the Shameless Picture Show, the Dead-Eyed Millennial Film Club, and 1 Week Rental as well. Next week, Gabby and I will be doing Of Unknown Origin from 1983 as our international pick. It stars Peter Weller and rats. So have fun with that one. It is streaming on fucking, watch out, Billy, Prime for $2.99. I say Billy because I have my Jigsaw guy right here. That no one saw that, but Derek did. So check out that one. I've never seen it. Gabby's never seen it, but it's got a great rating and Peter Weller, so it can't be bad. So until next week, guys, stay tuned and stay spooky.
Thank you for listening. To hear more shows from the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network, please select the link in the description